Welcome back to Against the Grain Living. Let's try to get the first load in today. Well, this is Saturday. Still trying to thaw out the Scandic from Thursday going through that slush. So this is just a bit of ice from the front of the track. I've gotten 4 or 5 loads out, chipping it out with a bar, but it's all tarped up and a heater under there trying to thaw it out. It was unbelievable. That was 20-inch wide track, the whole length. Not like that backcountry there. That was all white ice. Terrible situation. We're just loading up here today for tomorrow. So we got both carry-ons on there. And we've been at this for a couple hours trying to get this pile uncovered. I hate tarps. Anyway, we got it uncovered, and now we just gotta stack it strategically. We're only doing 1 load worth of material because I gotta put the sled deck over top and the Scandic. And this is trips mainly to get the carry-on toboggans in, and then the rest of the trips will be lumber stacked into the Scandic. We're just trying to get out some 16-foot stuff just for the single load, because when I do a lot of the boards, there's another carrier that I can put and just take 1 single carry-on for the stuff that's shorter. So I'll leave that in the garage, stack it up against the wall, and I gotta make sure I take enough stickers. I stopped on the way home from work on Friday yesterday and got 4 skids off the side of the road for them to sit on. But yeah, we're just gonna load up here and I'll show you what that looks like afterwards. When it was minus 33 Celsius without the wind chill this morning, so tractor's over there running. It didn't want to start even in the garage, and I'm still thawing out the Scandic. Well, good thing I don't get paid by the hour. This has been about 5 hours long getting this far. So we got the Scandic up there. Had to use the long ramps for the first time this year, and we had to tilt the trailer up because we have a bit of overhang. Just the tongue of the 1 carry-on. So the carry-on has got a load on it, and it is ready to be dragged off with the Scandic when I get to the parking. So I'll tilt the trailer back up and get the ramps here in the front strapped down. I got the 4 skids in the box and all the stickers up top, but I had to drop these upright posts 1 hole from there to there because I ran out of height underneath the deck. So there's a lot of messing around. I even needed stilts, which is kind of sketchy, so I had to add 2 lengths and a master length that I had. Anyway, we got that blue strap is binding all the lumber together. There's 3 of them, 1, 2, 3 at either end, and then they are strapped to their swivel base front and back. So all I have to do is take off this green one, which is to the trailer, red one to the trailer, and then this green one just holding it from sliding backwards. Take those 3 off and the load can just slide out. Before I take off on my way home, I'll ditch these blocks and the links and get the deck sitting back down on the trailer. But there's a lot of messing around for little stuff, and I've probably been 2.5 hours between thawing and chipping to get the skid free of all the ice blocks. It was bad enough that I had to use the tractor to shovel out the garage and shove it all up on the pile there. But we're just got to put everything in the back seat of the truck that goes on the Scandic, and hopefully this Tuesday when it's warm we can give the Scandic a bath. I ran out of energy there on Thursday and didn't cover it up on the way back, and it is filthy. So we're gonna leave the cover off for this trip too, and we'll wash it up here this Tuesday. So took about an hour to get unloaded where I parked there because I wanted to get that sled deck sitting back down off those 6-inch blocks. So I took out the 2 chain links and the master link and got that all good. Before I ran out of energy, I wanted to do it at the beginning of the day. But we've made it. It's probably close to 3 kilometers in, and it was pretty effortless. There's a lot of wallows or whatever you want to call them, little dips and stuff that I'm going to do a lot of shoveling today, because this is the only load aside from 4 skids and a bunch of stickers. They're going to come in the Pelican though. But I'm going to do a lot of shoveling to try to get it as flat as possible before I bring up the other groomer. But this tree in the middle of the trail here, I've neglected to cut it down so far. I ran out of energy the day that I was doing this section of trail, and I've been able to get by it up until this point. So it's too tight to get around. I can't keep enough momentum. Even though there's good traction today from, thank God I packed with the tires there on Thursday. It's been pretty good. I didn't have to carry a lot of speed on the way in. But now, I'm probably just going to try to slingshot with my stretchy rope around this and up the hill. And when I come back out with the Pelican empty, I'll probably have to drop that. And I'll get it for firewood when I'm done hauling in materials. But I half spun out now with the Scandic. It should drive out on its own if I unhook. But I might use the come along just because I have it to get it up past the tree and then use the rehook up. It's a little more time consuming, but it's it won't break anything. It's a little more controlled. So we're going to get at that now. So there we are. The rigging worked. Winch worked. It is time consuming, but you don't break anything. So we got it all around the tree. I should be able to hook up to that no problem and get it up the rest of the hill with the Scandic, hopefully. But I think when I get to the top, I'm just gonna drop that tree now while I'm here, and everything's unpacked out of the sled. I didn't bring the big saw though. I just had the little 170, so hopefully it'll just be felling it, cutting off the stump and getting it to the side. But we'll get this rigging all out from under this. That snowmobile strap has proven to be super handy with the buckles that it has, and it loops around, so it doesn't matter how big the thing is. If an eyelet or like a buckle can't get around something, and it works really well with feeding double loop straps through. It saved my butt a ton. Don't know what it's rated for, but it's done everything I needed it to. All right, let's get this thing up the hill. So we made it there in that last shot. So I've been noticing these things bend pretty easy. So then this pin doesn't want to go because it's binding on that top one on an angle. So these past couple times I've just been pulling out the drawbar to the sled and leaving it hooked up. That's one thing I observed, but I couldn't make this sharp corner here. And I spun out here, so we're gonna try to slingshot this around onto the flat, and then we'll take down that tree. New plan. That didn't work. I can shorten up my slingshot, maybe and go a little wider. Or I can go get the come along and get it up on that knoll. Probably the come along. Well, we still have that to deal with. We just had a quick little snack. Got rehydrated. I took down this tree with the little saw. I felled it where I wanted it to go, which was good. And it got hung up obviously, but I got it off the trail and then was just trying to cut the stump out. And of course you get in the dirt and ice down there. So now the saw's dull as dull can be. And I didn't bring my the 2-drawer saw box in. I just brought a tool and a spare chain, but I need to cut a turnaround at the build site, so I'm saving that chain for that. So I got most of the way through, and it's not doing nothing now, but we're gonna go at it with a few whacks of this. If not, we have 2 chains for the little 6-inch if we have to. But it got hung up in the crotch up there, but it'll be off the trail, and we're almost through this, and then we'll cover it with snow, shovel a bit of this off camber stuff on my way back up the hill, and grab the winch there that's still in the tree, and get that up on the plateau and rehook up to it and get in. Well, safety first. I use my snowmobile helmet and goggles for a chainsaw helmet and eye protection, but when I was using the axe, I got the goggles on. So we got it out of there. Had to chew out all that. Not very timely use of my time, but we're gonna shovel this all in with snow and get on up the hill to get out the load. Well, we're winching again, still in the same spot. So we got the scan dick hooked up. I've been going a few inches at a time. Oh, might need 2 hands for this. Anyway, we winched the tail end over around the trees. None of this snow, the width of the corner is set up, so no traction, no momentum. But after all the marks I put in this corner, should be good for the rest of the season. Anyway, we gotta get this thing out. So we gotta shovel in. This is the nasty hill, by the way, that gets pretty rowdy. So there's a little divot right there. It's probably 2.5 feet in the center. So I gotta shovel that fairly level, and then this whole hill is off camber. So this was my rowdy ride with the Pelican over here, and then I packed this width here with the tire groomer. So I've been shoveling like a banshee. Take what high stuff I can get off this side, put on the low side, and then try to firm up an outer bank there. So that's dug down, oh, I don't know, 2 feet, at least knee high. So I gotta go all the way up the edge. Any place that there's a corner, so right after that, this one here, I'll have to make sure that's good and firm and sort of banked in. Well, I've spent over an hour on this hill shoveling. Gonna head back down to the sled here, eat my lunch. It's 10 after 1, I haven't even been in yet. So I'm probably just gonna tow this in and unhook the carry-on, take my ratchet straps with me, hook onto the Pelican, and I'll unload the carry-on later because I need the skids anyway. But everything takes longer than expected, but reminds me of building GT jumps when I was younger. So hopefully this all sets up. I'm not sure, up here it's supposed to only get as warm as 3 degrees Celsius, so the snow should really set up this week, and then we're supposed to get some fresh stuff so I can get the snow groomer up next weekend and try to get it leveled out and really set up so I don't deal with stucks hauling. Just put in the miles and try to do 5 trips a day in and out from the trailer, and get all the building materials in. That's the plan anyway. So we still got some nasty spots up top that are off camber right here, but we didn't even make it to that. Don't know what my plan is because the carry-on doesn't back up very well. So all the snow that I just shoveled, didn't have time to set up. I was hoping to keep the Scandic on the inside where the tires went down. It didn't happen though. So it's out here in the loose stuff and just spun out. I didn't have a ton of speed. I couldn't get any really either. I might just bust out the winch again and winch me up to that triple top. Must say it's slow with that winch, but I can be in here alone and get myself out of any situation. I had to re-rig twice, and then I got the last 40 yards under the Scandic power once I got the sled back onto a bit of a level spot, and where I had the tire groomer had made it. The trail should be better with all this traffic for the future loads. I definitely don't want to be winching every day, but well, we're making progress. I think if this trail gets good and tight, and I'm mindful of the temperature and the snow conditions, and I don't just try to haul every single day, if I am strategic with the temperature and all that, I won't blow out the trail. So I'm thinking early mornings when the snow is still tight. Warm days we'll have to just do something else. Whether we just go in and cut some stuff, or we'll see. Anyway, we got to get in there. It's 2 o'clock and we haven't even made it in once. At this rate, I'm probably just going to get this in there, get my straps off it, and then go out and get the tire groomer. I brought some heavy duty wire to fix up that chain, and we'll drag that back in there. And that's probably all we'll do for today. I'll leave the skids and the stickers in the back of the truck, and we'll have to get that next weekend. You might ask where the load is. Well, I had one more stuck. One of the other hills that I didn't get around to fixing up in the fall. But we got fed up getting unstuck, so we unhooked, came in here and packed down a turnaround. It's tighter than I wanted, but everything's froze into the... So when I get the groomer in here, I want to just be able to turn it around. We'll see. This corner's pretty tight. So the idea is to be able to drive along and unload the 1-inch boards up on top of the hill, not down where the build site is, so they're out of the way. And then the carry-ons will be empty. Hopefully do this same loop. And if I have to drag empty carry-ons around the tight corner, that's no big deal. But we wanted to get some snow packed in here, so it looks pretty good. Now we got to go one last stuck, and we're just going to ditch the carry-on where I'm going to be unloading, which is just up here. Let's go for a ride. So to the right, down that sketchy shelf, is how I get down to the build site down there. But just so I don't clog the construction zone all up, I think in this clearing here I'm gonna put one big stack of 1-inch boards. So I just drive along here with the carry-on. So I'm gonna have to shovel this out so that the skids are sitting down flat, and unload here, go out there, do the turnaround, rinse, lather, and repeat. Try to do 5 loads a day, which is a pretty good feat alone. Anyway, let's go. I wanted to get rid of these trees here so I could go straight through, because there's a rock ledge where I just drove over there on the left, and then there's another one up here. Now that I have some snow, I can make things a little straighter, but things are pretty off camber still. The idea is to spend 1 or 2 days working on the trail to get it good, so that all your hauling trips are effortless. And there's our other spot that was a frequent flyer last year. I started clearing this stuff in here, so I could come straight up through, but didn't get it done in time for winter, so we get to deal with the uphill corner. So I think I'm just gonna slingshot that with the tow rope. I'll pack down this snow here. Good, because the tires, they packed it over here, so this is still unsettled snow. I can't get traction on. I'm gonna pack it real quick and then turn around and slingshot it up. That's probably all you'll see of me for today. Thanks again for watching Against the Grain Living. It's taken a while for this project to get going, but this is gonna be the year, 2023. So we're gonna get everything in here. It's the last thing I do this February. Alrighty, take care. See you next week. We dug out a pit. Placed 4 skids in there. When I bring them up next time, first load will go on there. I had to pull that load ahead, so there'll be a little bit of walking. I had to get the Scandic by to get out of here. But I got my straps all packed up for the next load, and I am out of here. It is 3:15. Gotta get back out to the truck, load up, and the drive home for work tomorrow.